that they would be like so worried about and things like that. And then I just see how we take surveys. A human mind takes surveys from the people around them, and as
Yeah.
like you said, true life stories. Being able to talk to so many people, I've been able to see how varied the mind can get, and like based off the choices and what you're able to pay attention to,
That's a
as if life was like a kind of schooling, but a schooling where there's no rules, but
that's how I think
it's
I
just
look at
something
it
there.
now. It's like all these is just different states of the human existence. And we
School where
get to
everyone's your teacher.
yeah.
My bad.
No, go ahead. Go ahead, George.
No, it's just that
Oh.
school where everyone's your teacher.
Yeah, where everybody's the teacher. You can learn from anybody. You can learn from a baby. You can learn from anybody that's here in life, living life, which is wild. But I
Yeah.
think,
So
I,
then when you go to those dreams and see the craziness, you're like, oh yeah, that's just like the my uncle who was talking to the voices. I see what was going on
yeah,
there. Now when they talk to me, I'm like, oh, all right, let's chill. Let's go for a run. Oh, it wants to want to paint. Probably want to go to school. Yeah.
Does anybody have reoccurring dreams that they're in a school, like a school that they went? No.
Hey, formerly, it used to be like that.
Yeah.
What do you feel like when you're in yours?
I feel like have I'm having a revelation because as soon as I realize I'm in school, I'm like, wait a minute, what's wrong? Why am I here? I don't need to be here. And then I like side mission, like I leave whatever I was doing because I'm like, oh, and now I'm dreaming because I'm fucking 36 years old. There's no way I'm in school. So now I know I'm dreaming. But it's like it brings me back to reality right away. But it also like even if I don't get to that point where like I'm dreaming, I'm always like I don't have to be here. Like I could always just leave. I'm choosing to be here.
Is it elementary?
Yeah, yep, elementary every time.
Yeah.
Like, this is elementary. I already know this. I remember it was one of the last times I had a school dream. I flew out of that joint. So I was like literally fly. I was like, oh yeah, we could fly. And some other things happened.
Oh, I recently had a dream like that and I keep having dreams like where I'm testing the limits as to what I can do as far as astral travel. And in it, I'm going through walls. In the beginning, going through walls, I'm becoming more conscious as I'm doing it. And once I get close to the wall, I'm like, oh shit, wall. And then I actually do hit it. So it's weird. It's like these dreams where either I'm teaching myself or remembering how to travel. I don't know. But then once I start conscious, it's like, nope, that's not possible. You can't do that. You're a physical being.
What? Superwoman. It's Marvel.
Watch that series. I was watching Daredevil, but it is so bloody and violent and nasty.
Love that show.
Yeah. The first one?
The series on Disney.
Yeah.
I didn't think it would be that gory. Yeah, and they're cutting heads off and cutting arms and hands off. Every time I put it on, and my nephew's in the room, he's like, "What is that?"
Right. You're like, they can't watch this. Yeah, that's.
Yeah. What is this? What is this? The guy was bashing somebody's head in with a bowling ball, and he's like, "Kristen, what is this? What is he doing to him?"
it killing him.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't want to say that, but I'm like, "What do you think he's doing?"
He's placing a bet. But it looks like that guy already lost. Damn.
Over here traumatized my nephew by accident.
Right. He'll never go bowling. What's wrong with you? I don't know, man. Ever since I was younger, man, I just man,
think it
bowling.
was
I don't know
think
what
it,
happened,
think it had something
but
to
my
do with my aunt.
Right.
I'm not sure.
Oh, man.
Oh yeah, that thing then kicked in already, huh, Charles?
Man, nicely.
You sound all laid back.
I was gonna say, I was about to say that the was laid back. Yeah.
hey, what did you say?
Oh, so I got this blend. Every time I would roast fire, I'd have a little bit left over. And I just started putting it into this empty container. So the container is like halfway full of top-notch blends, hybrids, sativas, indicas, everything is in there. So it's like just a bomb-ass hybrid.
Ooh.
Yeah. So it's accumulated over probably 6 to 8 months of just, runoff.
Uh-huh.
68
Yeah.
months. Nah.
Six, yeah.
Like 68 months. God
I know
damn.
that's a weird time.
And it still rolls right. How many years is that? We carry the two, add the one. Um, woo! 6 P. Hey, when does green lose its potency? Like if it's a zombie apocalypse in like 10 years, I find some weed, can I smoke it and still get high?
Yeah.
I'm smoking.
Yeah. Remember
Okay.
on Family Guy when they did that? Peter and his wife, they found the weed in the damn trunk upstairs, and they was like, "Man, let's smoke it and see if it still work." That shit was like 20 years old or something. They smoked that shit. They was singing all fucked up. They thought they was singing good though. They was
Ooh.
singing all
Right.
fucked up. I said, "Damn, I think it'll still work." But when you touch it, it's just gonna turn to dust. So
Yeah, you gotta be careful with that.
you
Yeah,
just
it's
go
the instant
you just
shake
gonna be
shake.
rolling dust, a lot of dust. That's about it.
Hey, unless it was that new age packaging that kept him fresh and
Man,
suspended animation.
man, when the
But
last
hey,
time you dove in, Charles?
man, probably like a couple weeks back, I think.
Oh,
A couple
oh
weeks
yeah,
back.
that was a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's up, Pi May?
You
Mhm.
just love you.
Pi May said as long as the weed don't
Yes.
get moldy, it'll be
Love
okay.
you
I
too.
smoke some mold.
He said I will
I,
smoke some
I
more.
That
smoke some
mold
mold.
and
I think you can smoke mold. I think it's okay. You won't die.
Interject your
no,
lungs up and give you a headache. At least that's what people reported to me.
you're
Hey,
wrong, brother. That's
The
bad for you.
mold
I don't know, man. You might be drunk and high.
will.
And poisoned by mold.
Yeah, and you gonna have the runs.
It's too much weed out there, y'all. After school special, the more you know. Dung dung dung.
Man,
I'm still the mold if I find it. Shit.
they about to start having mushrooms at all the cannabis clubs.
Oh, they already do over
When they
here. They
bringing that bill up?
Yeah, I said,
When they bringing that bill up, but is it
I don't know.
this summer?
I don't remember.
I had to look it up too.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't recall.
Gabby Newsom.
Yeah, like, but yeah, that's gonna be crazy. Well, it's not because we already kind of pictured it. You know what? If this shit happened at the time, like Terrence McKenna and them was talking about this shit, I know they would have been stoked. They legalized weed, and now the cannabinoids can be mixed with the mushrooms. And
Hey, wild man.
what's up, Wild Man Ninjago?
Hola, senor.
Yeah, because at that one, yeah, dude had everything. I said that's crazy at the pop up, but I mean Well, I think they probably kind of scared to decriminalize. Well, no, I don't think they scared. It's just they had some, the war on drugs. The war on
Right.
drugs just kind of slow a lot of things up because
War.
yeah, the war on drugs. You got to do the parentheses like the war on drugs. Ever since that shit happened.
Called wordplay, and they do
Yeah.
it very well.
I'm what's the name, and this year I'm not believing in no entities.
Entities. Oh, you're not believing in anything you can't see?
Basically,
Was you believing in them before?
yeah, yeah, I did. I believed in them before, but now I feel like a lot of people then like I think we create new entities every day or every year, or it be the same ones and we give them different names.
Hey, look, hey, well, look, this kind of go to your point. I haven't watched this one yet, but the title of this one, it was Indeed. Lady said that I went to hell because of my belief system here.
Yeah,
Mm.
So
yeah,
she's saying, hey, after all that, the shit really didn't exist, but I played myself by, hey, I was indoctrinated with that belief system, heaven and hell, and I thought that I lived a certain way, and I kind of manifested, and boom, went to hell in that bitch.
hey, cause like I think even Charles within that period of death, like that transition of death, I think there's no time on it. Like so, like when you about to die, what if your mind can just go to all these different places that you believed in that you felt like existed. Your mind can go to hell if you feel like you've been doing wrong your life. So that within that, say if you got shot and you about to die in like 2 minutes, like that 2 minutes you can live a whole eternity in hell before
Oh,
you go
hell yeah. I
all
mean,
the way.
yeah. It's been people that said that, hey, when they first passed, and boom, they kind of either went to hell or another place until they kind of thought like, all right, well, hey, well, be here, and thought they way through it, and like, all right, and kind of got out. But yeah, I mean, see, that's kind of that fine line too, because you think about it like almost like with DMT, like I take it almost from the perspective of boom. When you take DMT, it's like it's opening up like what your abilities can be too. So
Yeah.
certain times, almost like on certain levels of shrooms, and it's generally like on a higher dose, like that one that I had, where it was the DMT trip. But I was able to control the shit. Like I wasn't just a spectator this time. Like I was able to control the shit and do the
What up,
shit. It was
Mark?
the only time that shit happened. But it was like, you can tap into the
All
modes.
right, Mark.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Think
what I
about
be
what
thinking. That's what I
think
be.
about what self-reflection can mean, like poetically, like how deep that can self-reflection go.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then when you like the states, I think it's just man, it's an unlimited amount of states. And like, what if
Yeah,
it's
yeah, that's
not?
what I
What if
mean.
it's only a certain amount of them, but each one is unlimited. Like, do you get what I'm saying? Like, okay, like the state of love is at unlimited because love can be something that's used on so many different, so it can be used so many different ways. It can be love for a
Mhm.
person, love for a car, love for some clothes, love for a shirt, love for some shoes. It can be like it can extend an infinite amount of ways. Hate, it can be used an infinite amount of ways. So it's like each state can be used so many ways that it seems like it's infinite
Mm.
because it
Yep.
can be even looked at in so many different ways. Everybody's going to look at it in a different way. Like, your love is different than mine. I think you.
It's like certain states of perception when you look at certain ways that it's used. When once you look at like one state of perception using hate like this, it cancels out like whatever came before it. Like there's certain
Yes.
things that come before those perceptions that get canceled out, so they're irrelevant to how you're using that state now, and
Yeah.
that state might spawn new ones. And if you keep changing it, the ones behind it cancel out because of the scenario you're in.
And that's what I be afraid of right there. Seven is like getting caught up in one state of being and just being in that state the rest of your life. It's
Yep.
like it creates stop signs to where you can't see the other ones. Like you'll make yourself right in every scenario in that state, and you won't be able to see theirs over there though. You only be able to see yours and accept yours.
Hmm.
What's up, Gnostic
You won't
Chef?
be able to see the crack in your own armor.
Yeah, yeah, you won't. You won't. You because you lost in a belief system or something like that. To where you know the other ones is kind of shit, man. That shit is you push that shit out. It don't you create stop signs to not see it. To where even if somebody
There's
is
no
standing
fear
there
when you
showing
having
it to
fun
you,
though.
you still won't see it. It can be in your face and you still won't see it.
That's why it's fear lessons when you're having fun and like thinking at the same time, like work hard and playing hard.
Yeah.
Cause then something come at you, you like, oh, I know I be working a lot, but we can play around with this. I got some.
I can explain it. The best way I can explain it, Ty, is like, hey, you ever like had your car keys, right? And say you had a certain lanyard on your car keys. So that lanyard right there that's how you recognize your car keys no matter where they at. And let's say somebody went and changed that lanyard, took a Batman off and put a Pokemon one on there. And then you go looking for your keys and you keep seeing that lanyard, the Pokemon one, but you not throwing your keys on there. You just see that lanyard. Like I did that many a times where I'll pass the keys up looking for the keys because I know I got the Dragon Ball Z shit on there. And then it
Hmm.
gets switched, and then it's like now I'm looking for these keys. They right there in my face, and I still can't see them.
Because you're
Yeah,
looking,
it's like a puzzle. Are you saying, Kay?
it says because you're looking for one specific thing.
Yeah, to where it cancel out the rest. So I just feel like that go with like anything, like even religion, or like any like belief system that we might have. Like we'll get caught up in that one, and the other ones is done.
Mm,
We can't even see them motherfuckers. Like that shit is evil. That's what we
Mhm.
see. It's
yeah.
evil.
Yeah.
So any aspect of it that you try to give to me is evil. So I can't see it. I can't accept that because I got this one.
Hmm. And that comes with survival,
Yeah.
like human instincts and stuff like that. That's why people had tribes put markings on their face, and then when they see markings from another tribe, oh, that's danger. We gotta get them.
Yeah. I kind of that trips me out too. Is like the first person to actually do that, to take they self and cover they self with bird feathers, a rhinoceros fucking headpiece or something. I wonder how they were looked at. I wonder if they
The
was
two
looked
lions.
at like they had control over the animals, or it's like some type of god entity.
Hey, well, Book, I would think like this: it's like an opposing tribe, and a rhino. Dang, that dude was tough. Like he took out a rhino. Like it
Yeah,
was almost like a badge of
yeah,
honor. Like today, like somebody flossing, but in they times it was like, hey, I will f you up and kill you. Like this is,
yeah, yeah. But
I don't play.
if where I'm from, we never seen they didn't even have rhinos. And you crossed the sea and you came to where we at with that shit on, we gonna be like, oh hell no, this motherfucker is half animal.
Crazy.
You got
Yeah, it'll still be intimidating. I
but
mean, it'll
see,
still carry the same point.
you killed the cheetah and you wearing the cheetah fur on your head and shit with the teeth over your face. Like, man, you got to go talk to the cheetah guy because he got all the information. Like, I don't know. I think our time of worshiping the unseen is like kind of coming to an end. It's almost coming to an end.
Mm. Like
That's
we
what I
need
feel
proof.
like. Yeah, like we need proof. Like because I'm gonna follow this thing. You telling me, and they always use the same analogy. Faith. You gotta have faith.
Mm-hmm.
That's that good fruit.
But I ain't never heard nobody say that when the rent is time for the rent to be paid. You gotta have faith that it's gonna be paid. They be like, you better get out there and get you a job, and you know you gotta work to make some money to pay that shit. It ain't gonna pay itself.
Yeah, the only time faith be making sense is like you have faith towards something you're about to do. Like,
Yeah.
I know I'm about to do this, make it work.
Exactly. Like it's a manifestation. Faith is a
Yeah.
manifestation doing the thing that you need to be done.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think, and it's wild because I think we use all these certain things just as energy to push us to do things that we think should be done. So we
Mhm.
use these different unseen,
Analogy.
and we use those, and you know, and then we can put it on that and say the only reason I was able to do it because of my belief and my faith in God.
It pulled me through.
Yeah, it pulled me through, and it's like,
I didn't make it happen because I'm a magical being.
yeah, that's impossible.
Let me throw it in your face.
I didn't make this up in my mind like everybody else. It was, you know, it was the unseen forces, and it's like,
And that's
you
why
beat
I
up
say just come in with more fun, because then you could just see their play and stuff like that, and
but
not be afraid to play yourself, but see what's going on in the world.
you
but
made
Be
up
it's
able
the
to
at the
have like
same
spirit.
time,
a
just time.
manager position,
At,
a
at,
manager position in your head, so that you can be able to manage all of your belief patterns as they keep going. Like say,
yeah,
oh, I think I'm psychic. I think I'm reading thoughts. It probably is something to that, but it's another layer beyond that than walking up to people and just guessing and stuff like that.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you
It's a
make up the
Gnostic self.
spirit to go and experience the thing, and it's like you're you're like, oh, I'm like I want to freaking be a football player. I can see it happening already. It's like, all right, well, it's like you made up the magic part of it. Now it's like, how are you gonna go about executing it? Like,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, cause in the end, like you the one who go about executing it, and even if you
Right.
don't, if something else come along and actually make that thing happen, that's when you really just put it on the unknown, the source that nobody knows who is who. You feel me? What's up, Mark Dreams?
What's good, bro? Trying to get my camera to work, but it's not working.
Oh damn.
Work, camera work.
But I man, I look at it like, bro, I think everybody is like doing that. You feel me? Like you just find the source that makes yourself strong or have a certain power. That's fucking some dope ass rituals though. And nobody want to call the shit that. But that's what it is.
Yeah,
It's
that's
like
real though.
rituals and spells and
Well, the crazy thing is, bro, that it's really all about like what we believe and how it's like, we'll be like, oh, God helped me along the way. Whether God did or not, since we believe God did, it made it easier for us to do the thing.
yes.
It's like it gave us enough energy and belief in ourselves to actually then do the thing.
Yeah.
And isn't that it's still giving us the energy, even if we made it up? It was
Yeah.
all our.
That's what I
It's
that's what I was gonna get at, K Stu, because what they saying is true. Like you
Mhm.
can't deny that it's not true because it's happening, but it's still like a twisted illusion because the
right.
power that you have, you putting it on something else. The power that everybody have, you putting it somewhere else and saying this is the thing that is doing this when like it's us.
Yeah. And I think it boils down to the individual story too. Like little things that happen in their life growing up and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Uh like on this layer they would say it's extrapolated to that layer, but once you take psychedelics, like you see how it's all true. Like how you said
All of
somebody
it.
getting in some gang stuff and then going to NDE and feel like they're going to hell. When they come back, they probably say, "Oh, I was saved. I was given another chance. I was in hell. I got to do all of this, and that still helps their life story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's all done, and it number one, it done once again to keep us further very illusion,
Yeah,
to
to
keep
further
all this
us.
going.
Yeah, to keep it all going and further us in the illusion that we all creating together.
Yeah. Don't you like going to magic? Well, I always wanted to go to a magic show in Las Vegas. See some grand illusion. That illusion is like, what can you do? Show me something.
Show me the money.
Hey yo,
Show me the
but
money.
you guys gotta listen to this guy named Ian McCormick, and he's a surfer that was diving in the Maldives, and he got stung by the man of war jellyfish, or the blue bottle. What do you call it? He got stung like 5 times.
I think it was the man at war. I remember the story.
Yeah, the man of war. So he dies, or has a near-death experience, and goes to heaven, and he meets Jesus and meets God, and has a full conversion experience. And now he goes around the world to churches, preaching about Jesus and his near-death experience. It changed his whole life. How that one near-death experience, you know.
Mm-hmm. Most of them do. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
powerful. That's
like
that
having
journey.
one mushroom journey.
Yeah, like a
one-
mushroom journey. Because when the
Like
hype,
having
one though.
When-
Having one is the clue I'm saying right now.
when you reach the height of your belief system, or like the height of what you even think is good, that I think that is God right there. That is God, because that's what we labeled it, because it's all the good stuff in one package. The fixing, the helping, the knowing, the understanding, all the shit in one package. And when you reach the height of that one thing, bro, that's that God thing to me.
No, right. I feel
Yeah.
you. Because then it's like when
Everything-
shit goes wrong, we're like, oh, it's the devil.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
Exactly.
Like, how do we even know who to blame?
Welcome back.
Remember when Alan Watts
what's
said,
up,
"You don't want to
Nasty
be the
Chef?
guy in the movie. You don't want to be the guy in the movie theater who wakes up, who stands up and goes, 'Hey, this is fake. It's just a movie.' And then you fucking ruin the movie for everyone.
Yeah.
Right.
For everybody. For
Trying
everybody.
to believe in this.
Hey,
That's what happened in the journey I had when I saw the cameras. And everybody just stopped, stopped, just stared.
that I think that's the what's the name story. I was that's what's trippy though. I was watching when I was watching Flash. And when Batman first came into play, and you feel me, and like they went and had the fight, I said, damn, Batman is just Jesus. Hey, when the car was dragging him on the freeway and he was hitting all the stuff, and I'm like going this way, Batman, he just a regular man, but he slamming into all these cars. You telling me he ain't got no broken bones? He ain't let go of this rope. He ain't damaged at all. Impossible. I said this man is Jesus. Batman is Jesus. What's up, Big Chill?
Hey, it's quite true. They've taken certain liberties.
Batman is Jesus. Superman is Jesus. Superheroes is just Jesus and his disciples.
And Jesus,
Yeah, and with
disciples,
Superman, he had the same colors too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they come and save people.
And then he also goes into like a booth, right, to get into his Superman outfit. He like gets inside of a telephone booth, right?
Yeah.
And what's a telephone booth known for? It's for communication. And then what do when you go to the priest? You go inside a communion booth to communicate with God, right?
Yeah.
So you go into your booth, you commune with God, and you come outside of that booth of Superman because you've had your communication with God.
Ain't that some shit?
Kind of the same analogy with Superman for sure. It's a good one.
Yeah. That shit is trippy, man.
It's all about the consensus like reality is based on consensus. Like consensus is like the god of public opinion. You know what I mean?
Man, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you're
Because
absolutely.
then, oh, go ahead.
No, I was saying, like 5 people can agree on the wrong fucking thing, and the one person that could be right will change their opinion solely based on the pressure of the other 5 people.
Yeah, we do be agreeing on some fucked up shit though.
Well,
Yeah, I think like the biggest mistake we make is how we confuse this consensus with morality. And like the consensus is a measure of fashion and tolerance, you know? It's not even a actual moral code, it's just a fashionable code of tolerance that we all conceive today as okay.
Yeah.
Because the main thing that we follow is entertainment mainly, other
Right.
than like when it comes. Entertainment is like the big driving force of what really like changes our perception and shit.
This is the thing that I don't understand, right? Okay, this is the thing that's just throwing me off is the fact that whenever we speak of these different ones that came, like Buddha, Jesus, they had all these miraculous powers. Now, if Mark Dreams, if I came to y'all and said, yeah, you know, yeah, Mark Dreams he's the God. I seen him walk on water. Nobody's gonna believe me. Well, it's gonna be a couple of y'all out there that's gonna be like, yeah, I seen it too. And you ain't seen shit. But I'm just saying, I'm just saying, all these different things that got added to the story that made everybody, you know, believers. But
That's
today,
funny. It reminds.
oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say that thought reminds me of Key and Peele skit. I don't know if you guys have seen any of their comedy, but
Yeah, a lot of it.
there was like he was like there was like a news station, and it was like they were like, oh, we got to pretend there was like a Pegasus here or some shit, right? And they're like, oh, there was a Pegasus here, and then like people were walking down the street, and then they're like, did you see the Pegasus? And then just because they want to be involved, they're like, oh yeah, I saw that goddamn Pegasus. It was floating above the goddamn sky right there.
Yeah.
It was just like because they wanted to be involved with the story, like
He got on boat shoes. Yeah, just to be involved, or you know,
yeah,
but
just to say they were a part of something
and
bigger than them, you know.
Everybody came together, said 3 or more. That means the story is real.
Entertainment is like molding the future, the shit that we're gonna get into later and call fun, and then it's like the now is like the government and shit. It's like, okay, this is how everything is at the moment. What can we all do to make the shit a bit more or a bit less out of hand? And then you got all the people that are like actually there believing that, and they're like, okay, we can do this to make everything more contained. And then the other half is sitting there like, these niggas, like they really think this is for real.
Yeah, hey, it's wild because they do the shit like with like acting and like, you know, like in Hollywood, like all these different actors, all these different singers, all these different people, they got a crazy ass background story like we all don't. But it's like, you know, oh, since you've been through that, you deserve to be where you at.
Yeah.
When it's like almost all of us have been through that in a way.
Yeah, in a way, we've
does
all been through.
deserving it have anything to do with whether or not they end up actually having the reward? No.
Depends on the person.
Well, it would be because somebody thought they deserve it if they got it just because they deserved it. Deserving it is an opinion, you know?
Okay, but you can have that opinion towards yourself, whether or not you believe you went through it or not. But like once you do that and say like, oh, I deserve this, you got to see is like, well, you have more levels to it where you start thinking for yourself, do I deserve it? Like, okay, am I doing this? Am I doing that? Like,
My phone about to die. I gotta get it on.
All right, Charles.
Peace, fam. I'll tap back in with y'all later.
it's like you're waiting for the perfect moment to catch what you feel you deserve.
Who did? Where's where the hell is Katrina? Lita? But yeah, who determines what? Like how? Like what is the scale? You've done this thing, so you deserve this.
I just seen this thing on social media talking about how like we get what we think we deserve. Like if we think we're worthy, we'll get it. But if we get something that we think we're not worthy of, we'll end up sabotaging it.
Mm. Oh, you mean like more than what we think we're worthy of?
Yeah, yeah.
That's interesting. I think it's different with everybody though, because you might be like, oh shit, I didn't know I could even obtain all of this. Let me hold on to it, as opposed to let me squander it and blow it all. Hey, baby lungs, we see you. You ain't smoked in a minute.
Go to work in a little bit.
Yeah.
Like
All
what
glory
you
to God.
deserve
Give
is
thanks.
like a little. It's like the dessert of the path you experience. Like you go through that, and then you get the side plate, a little dessert. So it's like so, probably the path you go down determines like what you deserve. Like,
Yeah,
well,
like
yeah,
what
but
you.
like,
I think it's weird too the way you pick your path, because you know
yeah,
each person's path to me is the same, but what makes it different is the different, like somebody being in Iraq opposed to me being here. So them coming up, they seeing things differently. They seeing different things happen in life than what I'm seeing. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like in everyday life, that like a person that's seeing buildings get blown up, and shit like that, thinking that this is life. Coming up as a child, this is life. We got to be careful, even going to school, because we don't know what's gonna happen. They might explode the school bus or something. Over here, I'm gonna look at it differently. I ain't gonna. Life is gonna be chaotic, but not as chaotic as that. I forgot where I
Right.
was going with that, but yeah.
Right, yo, people who go to a well to get water every day, or like a river to get
Yeah.
water, and we lost it, bro. Like I can't fathom that person comes to New York and sees how we live. I don't. How can they assimilate? I don't know. I mean, maybe it'll probably be easier for them, but I would be able to go and fucking to a well or a river every day just to wash my. That's crazy.
Man,
I'd
yeah.
say
It probably
same.
goes down to that quality, that qualia. There's like life experience, and then there's the quality or qualia that you extrapolate from each experience.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like if you have no recollection or no knowledge of, said like you described, like if I'm in a tribe in the middle of Australia and
Yeah.
then never been in contact with anybody, going to find my water every day like you described, I wouldn't have any like ill thought towards this like progression or this idea of me having to go do all these things. It would just be a daily life occurrence. So
Right.
then the concept of free water running sink is man-made, and then so we give that idea to someone that has to go find water, and then they're like, oh, what the hell, I've been doing it this way the whole time, and you mean there's this easy route I could take? And then, but who's to say that easy route is what that person needs, like you were describing earlier about people getting what they are owed or they deserve. And then
Yeah.
I also toss around the idea of like, what if while you're in like the spiritual realm that you have spirit partners that they're like, you're like, I really need to get myself out of this idea, this next round in this realm here. Can you help me? And then this person is like sent with you to just give you complete shit hell every day. And it was just to make you ready for the next level or something, you know? So I always toss around that idea too, that perhaps you were like, you asked for all of it in your realm before.
Yeah, I be feeling like that too. Like everything that you seen in a way, damn, you asked for it, but
Yo, there are people here. I know I sent you here for me.
that you seen here
Right.
from
This-
what?
I sent you here. I made it so that you're here in this because there's no way. I had to have done this on a higher level.
Right. There's some other connection prior. Yeah.
Exactly. On a higher level. But yeah, what we were talking about the water, it made me think about when, you know how when we open the pipes in New York and you see like that's in the before the water gets to your shower or your drinking water, like that's the price we pay to just turn on that water because we're getting dead water. We're getting contaminated dead water, and these people who have to walk to get water, fresh live water that's healing their body, not harming. It doesn't have sediment and
Right.
chemicals.
So there's some value to that water, like you're saying. Yeah. So like their value in that water, we don't even see it. So like we see the value in the water sink when there's zero value coming out of it, and we're like, oh, look how great this is.
Yeah,
and then the people are like having to go fucking walk 8 miles to go get some water, and we're like, damn, that sucks. But their water actually is actually giving them the benefit from the Mother Earth that, you know, was intended.
Yeah, the crazy thing about it, you go over there and you drink that water, you liable to die though.
Oh, right, for us, yeah, with that mycology in our stomach.
You liable to die.
That's how I was going to mention the relativity of it all. How everything is still culture and cool because they got what they got, but we can't survive over there. But we can survive with what we got, and there's still more flavors around, like how New York is compared to like people living in parts of California or the mid.
Yeah,
United
that's
States and stuff
yeah.
like that.
It's some places in California, like Porterville, not Porterville, but dang, I forgot what that one spot called. You go there, they water is that shit so nasty. It even stank. It smelled like a cesspool or something.
Oh.
Like
Yeah, California is known for having some interesting water.
Yeah, it's a couple places up here where people kind of live half off grid, like just like 30 minutes away from the town. But they got like wells that come out the mountain and stuff like that, and springs and everything.
Yeah, like
Yeah, even those can be contaminated. I live closer to the mountains, and my family, we have 900 acres out on a ranch, and we've had to drill a well 3 different times due to like just water contamination. So even that can be fucked up sometimes.
Dang. Yeah, and then we be having that hard water.
Yeah, you gotta soften it. You gotta people supposed to put chemicals in your pipes to soften your water. What the fuck is that? I don't understand. What the fuck is that?
To soften your shit.
I saw this one guy. He had this huge rain trapping system. It had like 4 different filters before it got to his house, like processing things. But he's like, he saved a lot of money, and he able to know what kind of water he got and stuff like that.
It's what's dope about it though, because you see how the human body can adapt to these different changes.
Mm-hmm.
Like it can adapt to it. Like we adapted to having this weird water we drink, and then opposed to drinking out just straight out the stream. Or
Yeah.
don't they?
Right, and I think that's part of like the sickness too, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
why we are as a nation completely finding ourselves lacking ability to fight off any types of like basic ass sickness, and it's probably because of all the over cleaning and all that type of stuff, you
But
know.
when you think about it, you know, yeah, like in the cowboy days, they was dying in their 40s and shit.
From weird infections.
Yeah, from weird
But yeah, but I
infections.
mean that's also but that would be like circumstantial, right? Like we get those types of notes and like little anecdotal facts about stuff, and we don't like actually think, well, yeah, these guys were out in the middle of the woods. If they got a broken bone, they might not have had, as easy a time. But yeah, definitely those types of things factor in, and then that's why. But those people were probably healthier, even though they died at 40, their bodies probably would have lasted till 80, but they just like had an unfortunate circumstance come about, like you're describing, where they get cholera or they get some type of like disease that they can't fight.
And today we can fight that shit and heal it though.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think this is like probably, well, I think everybody that was living at the time they was living, it was probably the best time, so called.
And you know how they come up with those numbers for as far as like the average age, how long like the life expectancy, that's based on a birth rate. It has nothing to do with the actuality of people and them dying. It's actually just based solely around the birth rate.
Yeah.
So it has to do with the amount of people being born in that same fashion. So I can't remember exactly how it's broken down, but you should take a look into it. It's pretty crazy.
In them days, you could have any kind of drug. It didn't matter. They didn't care.
Right. But they sold just normal drugs at the store. Like, get yourself some opium. They even had cannabis infused like tinctures and shit.
Probably like 99 potency.
I mean, they was putting cocaine in coke. I mean,
right?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, isn't that where it got the name?
Yeah.
Hey, we're keeping the name. You can take the coke, but we're gonna keep the name.
Yeah, we're gonna keep the name.
Yeah.
In Red Dead Redemption 2, you can buy gum with cocaine in it.
Oh damn. Cocaine and
So I'm assuming back in like the cowboy days, they had all that shit, like you said, opium and shit like that.
Yeah, they used to.
You could buy moonshine, bro. Isn't moonshine illegal now?
Above a certain percent.
All they really did, though, by making those things illegal, they just renamed other things that were probably worse off for you, and then sold it to you in a different package.
Yeah.
Like OxyContin. OxyContin is heroin. It's just sold to you as a painkiller. So, for us to pretend that they're not doing that, though, is kind of silly. Because even Prozac and all these other things are all serotonin inducers, which, if you think about it, that's Molly, right?
Yeah.
Like, here's some MDMA, legal MDMA. Here you go.
Here you go.
And then, so I mean, all of those names just got a new name and then refashioned, just like we do usually with time and religion and science and everything else. We just refashion it, and then it becomes our friend again. Yeah, exactly.
Give it back to
Yeah,
ourselves.
but the shitty thing is, bro, it's like they only did that because now they're getting paid for it. You can't patent opium, you can't patent cannabis, you can't patent those things. But if you make a molecule from one of those things, you can then patent it. So now they own like someone owns OxyContin, someone owns these things, and now they're getting sold back to us as medicine when we already had the medicine.
That's wild.
I guess that's big pharma.
Yeah. Hey, and yeah, they'll drill you down about it too. Like, nah, these medicines ain't drugs. They to help me do this. Excuse me. They to help me do this. They to help me do that. It's like, that's what
it reminds me of you guys talking about how someone will have an experience and then relate it to like Jesus or God.
Yeah.
And then it'll like be a life-changing experience. And I think it's the placebo. I think that's like the biggest thing that we own as an autonomous being, is that we have the ability to heal through placebo. And then even if you're being handed a medicine that's said to help you, like, is that medicine really helping because of that, or is it because you were told that,
Yeah.
Like, obviously,
Right,
there's some like correlation with like chemical induction of feeling good when my serotonin dropped out my stomach. Like, that one's kind of basic. But the healing that comes about from the drug that you were given, I think, just comes internally. You start your own factories come online when you've been told something, and then you start doing what you've been told works, and then your body's like, okay, so we're doing it, guys, we're doing it.
Yeah. No, that kind of goes back to what we were saying about like belief, like
Yeah, the
what we
placebo
believe.
is belief.
Yeah, yeah. So it's so crazy that it's really our belief on what we think things are is then
Right.
what they become. We believe
Yep.
God helps us, so God actually
Like,
helps us. We believe this medicine
yeah.
heals us, so the medicine heals us. It's crazy.
Like, that's placebo, bro. Like I don't like this is my newest biggest thing. Like, I just finished a book called "You Are the Placebo." I definitely highly recommend it. If anybody's heard of it or wants to read a book, that would be the one I'd say to grab, because it's fascinating how many people that get told they have a disease they don't, that die from the disease.
Yeah.
There's like a lot of people out there that get told they have a cancer or something that they don't actually have and die from it. And so that's pretty fucking powerful.
Yeah, that is.
I don't know what
That
kind of
is.
magic, like, what kind of magic you have to believe in to see something that's real. In that state right there, it's got to be the biggest indication of magic words being said to someone
But
that facilitated a belief that then constructed an actual reality around it. You know?
And that makes
Imagine
so
it's
much
like-
sense, man. Go
Imagine
ahead,
the
Ty.
psychedelic journey, and like what people call trick sitters, or just having a good buddy or somebody around, or say something to you. If you in like that vision space, it'll change everything that's going around in there, and how you feel about the world and all the other things that pop up.
Yeah. That's wild, bro, because that thing it don't even have to be like something that's right here in your face in the reality. It can be something that doesn't even exist here. It can just be a belief system that could play that placebo thing out. That's what's crazy about it. That's fucking crazy, bro.
Yeah, because that placebo is your imagination, and that imagination, what they've been thinking up different spiritual religions and people having cool experiences beyond, or being an artist
Right.
like that, or being a family member. Oh, I just love to do things, or hate to do things, like however you find it.
It's like the same reason that like the USA is the nation of Mexico. The imagination is the overall, but it's made up by states of mind. And
Yeah. Yeah, and people will
Imagine
die.
greater.
And people will
Imagine
die
you.
for that shit too.
hell yeah.
Like they will
That's
die.
a great imagination. We gotta make that nation. I'll fight for that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I die for that nation.
Yeah, I think we like hallucinate all of reality. You know, like hallucination, imagination.
Yeah.
It's all
Yeah, no,
hallucination,
absolutely.
placebo, and so yeah, that shit's totally That was a good
That's the
little
crazy-
statement you did there.
Yeah, because that's crazy. Because it's like, it's almost like we really can control reality. Like thoughts really do create reality because it's just this thing that we believe it is. So then placebo and belief, and then what we do, it's like this whole mixture of just we create reality based off
Yeah.
of what we think in our imagination.
Yeah, even science has that. Like, we freely study science and religion, but no one speaks of the religion of science. Like, to suggest that, even to suggest that kind of thing into the academia world, it's heresy to act like there's some type of religion in science. But then the suggestion that science could have like religious component could only be taboo for like some followers. The science does have followers, right? Like they literally call them that.
Yeah, you know, rigorously on what you try to talk to people about. Can you repeat that?
You going
Like
in and
Neil
out?
Yeah,
deGrasse Tyson. Like he be going overboard sometimes. Like he be doing too much sometimes.
We
Who?
live?
Yeah.
Yes, we is. All right. I just want to say thank you. Goodbye.
What if weed is a placebo?
That's wild.
So can we just start smoking something that's good for our lungs and then call it weed
Like
2.0?
air? Like air? I think anything is because bro, I said we dive in the States like it's a motherfucker. Because anything that attract our minds, we look at it in every direction that we can. We look at it in a 360. We find out about it. We break it down. We take it apart. We put it back together like 1,000 times. It don't matter what it is. Like I was saying, it could be whale watching. It could be trying to save the whales. We gonna dissect that shit. We gonna be out there every day on the water. Me and Mark Dreams on our boat trying to stop these people from killing whales. We gonna find out what the whales eat, where they be at, who eat them, who they funkin' with, what type they is, what's their blood type, how many teeth they got in their mouth, can they taste or not? It's like you become the whale or some shit, or you become the thing that you are, delving into.
The thing you're
Yeah.
perceiving.
Yeah.
Well, experience based. He said the scientific method is sound, evidence based hypothesis. Damn.
Yeah, he's just
Change
going
it
into
up.
the Church of Science. Like, obviously, there's some fundamentals to science that you can, like, go and extrapolate yourself, but then there's a lot that comes into belief, like what's inside the atom. Well, you just see some motion in it, and then you extrapolate an idea from it, come up with a theory of what you think it is, but you don't
Yeah.
actually know. You just have, like, a mathematical equation that will show you, well, this is a potential possibility, and then you have to put your faith into that idea that it's the right one, which then 100 years from now could be totally wrong. So explain to me in that case how that works. Science is always wrong,
How many?
but they're always trying to learn.
How
Yeah.
many of those?
Look at the electron cloud. They used to say it went in circles, and then they say it's in spots over here and there. Oh, it's in the cloud. Now it has a potential position.
You know what's crazy? Because like anything that you accept it to be, it got a infinite amount of information for it to be that. And each piece of that information that you grab got an infinite amount of information for itself.
Yeah, that's
Till
the
somebody come
perspective.
along and say something.
It's the rabbit hole.
That's when they try to make a religion out of it, or say, no, this is right. Let me get some experiments. So then somebody will come up with an experiment that disproves it. But most of the time, it's a company or something to try to, like, eradicate that other guy.
Yeah,
we only hit it right here.
They gonna come up with ways to prove it, then they gonna come up with ways to disprove it.
And then plus, if you look up, I forget what it's called. It's like the there's some fallacy out there with the fact that they can't reproduce 80% of scientific produced papers.
Huh?
So 80% of papers produced in the scientific literature can't be reproduced in someone else's lab.
Damn.
That's a fucking huge number to pretend that it's all legit.
Oh yeah, it was something else going on with the scientific papers. How they go around, they vote on. Oh, this is a good one. Then it's like a certain sect of people that do it. Some group of scientists posting like bullshit posts to see if it can pass through that filter, and they got a couple ones. It was like some weird made up studies, dogs, gender.
These days,
and they just like bullshit.
These
But
days,
then later, once we got talked about it,
you can make up anything these days. About 2 or 3 people gonna believe you. You ain't even gotta explain it too much. And it's crazy. You can make
at least have 20 pages. You could.
Yeah. That's crazy.
All you really need is a degree, and people can be, oh no, he's a professional at this. He
You
understands.
don't need a degree. You just gotta have 2 or 3 people to agree that you have a degree. You could put the
Yeah.
doctor on your name and just be talking to 3 people right now, and then now after that, every time somebody meets you, you're gonna be doctor. You ain't even got.
Isn't angles measured off of degrees? So it's like the perceptions are angles, ways of looking at it.
Yeah.
Certain. So yeah, like once we say this person has a good angle on whatever they're viewing, so yeah, he has this degree.
Each angle of light has an infinite amount of light to go with it. Like you can look at everything in an infinite amount of ways. It don't matter what the fuck it is. I think that's how we create the realities that it kind of exists within us. You feel me? Because like I can say I don't like Snickers, right? So I can create an infinite amount of ways of why I don't like it, why it's not good to me, like period. And then like within those things, I can create still infinite of, like say I say peanuts. I don't like it because of the peanuts. And then that little thing right there go, well, it'll create the peanuts. Now I don't like anything with peanuts in it. Anything that got peanuts, I'm not fucking with. I don't care what it is. So even if I come upon something that they cooked with peanut oil, you feel me? That's gonna create a whole nother genre of reality that I'm gonna have. You feel me? It's like our minds are always creating reality after reality within reality on top of a reality constantly in like so many different ways, bro.
Yeah.
That shit be trippy as shit. You know what made me
Yeah,
think
like-
of that? When I was watching Flash, that new Flash, and he went back in time. And the cold thing about it, because when you really think about it, did he go back into the time of everyone? Or did he just go back into the time of his own mind? Like, you get me? Like, the time in his own mind is a whole different reality than the time in Batman's
Oh
mind.
yeah.
So, even when he came back and reality looked different to him because Batman was a different person, what if Batman was still, because he was still Batman, he just had a different face?
Yeah.
That's the thing that kills me about psychedelics, is the fact that you do this sometimes. Because you'll put somebody on a pedestal and then you'll take a dive and you'll come back and you'll see that person is was not ever on that pedestal. That's just somewhere where you put them at. They wasn't there. It's you just accepted it that this person and that person said they were there. So then you'll take them down and you'll put them down and you'll put somebody else in their place. You never put yourself up there though. You always
I'm about
put.
to say you not put yourself up there. That's
You
why-
don't. You don't. You don't put yourself up there. You know, you'll put Terrence McKenna in that place. Not
Nah.
yourself. Before you'll put Terrence. And then even if
People do that. Yeah, and then do quotes.
yeah.
They'll go say, "Oh, I got these parents said something similar. It's true."
Yeah, so it's true. Because and then you'll adapt. You'll gain all the people that put Terrence McKenna right there in that place. And
They keep 'em alive.
like I said, man, maybe I'm tripping. Maybe my mind is tripping, or I'm just saying I'm seeing things so weird now.
You just walked out the cubicle. That's
I walked out the cubicle. And shit, everybody was still working. I said, wait, hold on, something is wrong. Ain't nobody stopped. But yeah, I don't know, bro. I don't know. That should be trippy as shit.
we find our place in a lot of things with parents, with nature, with everything. We can't do this without nature, but nature and our thoughts survive with the knowledge we have. Like what shouldn't be done, what should be done. Maybe people will look for somebody else to really tell them so. Which we do because it's on the shoulders, but you know,
ain't
we
it
just know
weird
the
though?
remix game is so strong.
Ain't it weird though how like you know you like you change the way like you can change the way you look at things, but nothing really changes. Everything is still doing the same fucking thing.
Yeah.
But
Even change itself, the thing that we say, like literal change, you feel me? That thing in itself doesn't change because all it ever does is change.
yeah, yeah.
So it's contradicting in its own way, but
And
it's like in that contradiction it becomes real. So it's like if somebody feels one way about something and then they also tell you the other side of their feelings, they're fully being real with you for how they want to feel, how they do feel. So it's like that contradiction is what makes it like be there, I guess. Like
Yeah.
you get that attention as to why is that true.
Because like you're talking to a person as they time travel through their mind space instead of just feeling like just I'm just here and just this and that. It's like no,
Yeah.
it's something going on.
but that's like I said, that's how fast our minds compute though. Because when we see something, our minds begin to weigh it upon everything that we know
Yeah.
before we decide on it. We don't just skip and be like, yeah, I believe. No, our mind weigh it against all the different possibilities. To where if it's something outside of our belief system, like we still won't see it. It's like,
Because we know, like we were saying earlier, with the things like in the past kind of get cut off because of like how the intent and the perception of the thing like you went through. How do I put this? It's like we want to see how that person arrived to those thoughts because we know there's many ways to arrive to those thoughts, and some ways are like very fucked up in our perception, some ways are like, okay, I'll trust you. So we want to like think of it all, and it's like, okay, and then from all the clues that they give us, it's like, okay, this is their belief. Like we're trying to like answer the question of, you know, who we think they are for real, because like we know it's like we have this thing that like, oh, people don't really know like what I'm about and shit. But then when I make it like I put it out there, some people get it, some people don't, and it's like you just want to be around those people that like you get. Like you're not trying to put them in any light, so you just like you feel them out, so you're just like, okay, this is them. But in that meanwhile time, you have to put them somewhere like before you like fully figure them out.
yeah, but it's kind of weird because you can't really. I don't think you can really fully figure out anybody because you only getting a percentage of them that is so low that you can't. It's impossible to figure them out. Like I don't care if you knew them you knew them for 10 years. If they like 30 or 20 something, that's like, you know, that 10 years you wasn't around them no every day 24/7 all the time, seeing how they do this and do it. You ain't around them that much to figure them out. Like even myself, seeing myself do everything I do, I can't even figure me out.
Yeah, like especially it's like when you notice someone really is acting a certain way and you open up to them about how you feel, about how you notice they're feeling, et cetera, et cetera. So like you in that moment they can already decide, it's like, okay, am I gonna switch up like how I feel because I agree with this person or something, like they open my eyes to something. So it's like right when you catch them and you realize what they are, if you like point it out or your actions change towards them, they're gonna notice and they're gonna be like, okay, they figured out. I'm gonna slightly bend to the left and tilt my head. It's like, and then they're gonna be like, hey, you bent to the left, bro. You've been acting weird. And it's like what really matters is the fact that you tilted your head.
Yeah.
And like they're not catching on to that, so you'll move your legs and shit.
That's when I be thinking that's like no matter like what anybody else is doing or how they're doing it, we always come up with these different scenarios of what we think they're thinking. And it's like we don't live inside nobody else's head but our own. But we will put these things on other people. And then, like you said, they'll do things, and that little thing right there still make you right. So it's like still, in a sense, like you still making this thing yourself. But you only bumping heads with yourself, because you the one who's saying this to yourself. They not saying, "Well, I did this because of this." No, you saying that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where a big mass communication start coming in, because people are even forming new worlds as they're talking in the present moment.
Yeah.
And like being willing to go into your own imaginations as people and then come together and always bring something fresh. I think that's what keeps people interested. And like when you around them a lot of times, or even with companies, you see them change the logo a couple times. They've changed the theme song and stuff, but they still McDonald's. But and so like with the communication factor, I think it comes with like not actually figuring it out, but giving a good enough checkpoint sometimes. There's not sometimes companies are like kinda honest but not honest. But then you see when a company is actually being honest with what's going on and the direction they want to move forward and things they did in the past and stuff like that. It's like, oh, I see where we are. I still know everything behind the scenes, like what the CEO or this and that, but I got a good picture for it. I think it's like could be like that with people too.
Yeah. Because I mean, we call people company.
And like it's weird because like I ain't saying people don't be deceiving, but I don't know. It's kind of weird because even if they is being
it's
deceiving,
a company, and you got the forefront. You got the people greet you as you come in. How you hire?
Mind your business.
What's
In
up,
some
Vito?
restaurants.
Isn't that telling the mind that it's a business? Like if I'm talking to the mind, like if I say, George, you're ugly, some shit, right? It's like, mind your business. It's like I'm telling it it's business
Yep.
in itself.
Then after that, I was saying like manage. How do you say manage your company or manage your manage your feelings?
Who
Like
is
that.
Man,
you are?
Like that's crazy.
like time, like what?
You is it's like you is the manager, you the owner, and you one of the employees all at the same time.
Yeah, because you're the man
But
ager.
if we
the
really
ager
nobody, then what's managing us?
that thing in itself. If you're nobody, then that other nobody is managing you because you made that nobody somebody.
Yeah. But what you're saying is because there's nobody managing it, it can't be mismanaged because there's no management going on at all.
Yeah,
It's
so
managed free. It's like AI. We've been through this already before.
it just comes down to who you want to give the trophy to at the time. It's like, oh, all this we went through 2024, life wins. It's like 2025, that shit it would have been out of hand if God didn't win this time. So plans and everything and structure is what 2025 is gonna be. It's like, and so that's why every like 4 or 5 years or so, there's always like a switch up in the entertainment industry. Like watch music for 5 years and then watch how it like dies down and then just blows up out of nowhere. Or like watch the entertainment industry, like movies and shit, like watch how it just blows up out of nowhere and just dies down over and over. Like because what keeps it alive is like what we care about and shit. Like with the Marvel movies and all that stuff. Like that shit was all like fire as fuck all the way up till Endgame, and then it like died down because Endgame was the thing we were keeping it alive for. Like and like with music and shit, like that shit was blowing up way more back in like when Slim Shady was around and fucking like Jay-Z popped out of nowhere and 50 Cent and Michael Jackson like look at how Michael Jackson was like performing for like hella people and shit. Like Michael Jackson was a fucking superstar. But it's like nowadays everyone gets a piece of that cake because of the internet more, so it's like a little diluted until something special happens again, like with the Latin American music blowing up out of nowhere. It's like they just decided, you know what, the U.S. has been doing this for longest. Why don't we do this shit?
I agree.
Yeah, that Latin music right now, that shit is going crazy.
Yeah,
Not
fuck,
just
I never thought that they would get that big, bro.
I'm like going K-pop. I never
Yeah, K-pop, bro. K-pop, man. Jesus fuck.
Right.
What the hell? I never even knew about K-pop, and I heard people say something about it. Then I seen one of the views on one of the videos. I said, "This is unbelievable."
Yeah, bro. I did not know that it was that big until I saw my little sisters listening to it, and then out of nowhere, people at work were mentioning it, and I'm like, "You listen to K-pop? Like you're bullshitting me." And they're like, "No, I'm dead ass. I love that shit." I'm like, "Nah, bro. Like, we're the same age. You're also a man. The girl over there that just turned 18 listens to K-pop. My little sisters listen, and you're fucking 21, sitting here like you like not to mention race. Like certain races can't listen to shit, but bro's black, and I'm like, you're a black man, 21 years old. You have like no feminine vibe to you at all, and you love
banging
K-pop.
Hey, to each his own, man. To each his
Yeah.
own.
Yeah, but I didn't expect that shit like that.
Cryo listen to K-pop.
No, I don't.
You know what? Now that I think of it, he probably was more flamboyant if he was like around other people other than coworkers and shit. Cause I bought him a Steam gift card one day and he got all like giddy like a girl would.
Yeah.
But he didn't seem like that. He didn't seem like that. You feel me?
He probably was like, "Thank you."
Hey, I get giddy, but I get giddy like a guy.
Oh man.
You don't get 1 billion fans by just having girl fans.
I just know, bro. What
They
the
want
fuck?
the most streamed bands in history. Like they up there with the Beatles. Well, some K-pop bands.
Yeah, up there with the beat. Like, think of that. Man, that shit is crazy, bro. Let me see if I...
The world had less people back then, so that's not a good argument.
And then,
Something I read.
wait,
And it makes sense when you think about things.
who is mainly making K-pop music?
Korean girl.
Stray Kids and what's that other band called? I forgot their name.
BTS.
Yeah. Them. BTS made it like pop off for real, because I remember like when they blew up out of nowhere, I was just like, "What the fuck is that, bro?" Like,
I knew that
I
they
was
were
like,
industry plants.
this,
though. They were
man,
the whole point of
BTS.
K-pop is the fact that it's
Bro,
the industry
stop
making it.
playing
It's
with
not-
me.
None of them are original, so you're just listening to it because of the music. You're not listening to it because of their character as people.
Hey, BTS, look, they got 1.7 billion views in 3 years. 1 point, dang, Cryo, that means you listen to this song about 1 million times.
like my little sisters be caring about everything these niggas do, bro. Like they care about how tall they are, how fucking like if they put on a new shirt or some shit. Like if the new album has like pictures of them inside of it and stuff. Like
They can't even dance.
If any of them smoke drugs, they get kicked out of the boy band.
that's why it'd be best to put them all on crack and have them upper tier than. Like you want some more of this shit? You better go film that music video.
Oh, Nichiwa.
The K-pop is booming though. I'm finna start banging this. What's up, Queen Love? I said K-pop. Golly. I don't even think I listened to one of the songs. Is they like upbeat tempo songs and shit? Like fast?
Too much.
Some of them.
The ones you listen to?
No, I just know that I've heard of them a little bit. Basically, basically, isn't pop just all the different genres just made to make it sound palatable as possible? Because there's like pop rock, pop metal, pop this, pop that.
Are they in English or?
Some of them, but they're mainly in Korean.
Yeah, Japanese.
I think pop stands for popular.
That makes sense.
Oh, so what the K stand for?
Korean.
Oh, Korean popular. That's stupid.
Yeah, by pop music, they mean they gonna use those chords that people familiar with. They going.
Yeah,
and then
the old school pop music. They just
That's why Taylor Swift is such a fucking giant star, because like her songs are based around those basically generic chords that can be recognized and enjoyed very easily by somebody who's not so much like feeling themselves. Like certain songs you got to be feeling a certain way emotionally to enjoy, and then there's other songs that are just kind of there that you can hear and tune into.
Do you think Taylor Swift can sing though?
I think she can sing.
Baby, let's rewind, wine. Please don't waste my time.
Like I've seen her sing like on YouTube videos and shit, and like there's times where she sounds better singing live.
Yeah, sometimes they do sound better live.
Like I think that Taylor Swift is just focused on the fact that you have to sound a certain way to get that vibe off.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember any of Taylor Swift songs, so I couldn't say.
Or what's that song? It's like did she make that song Boyfriend, or am I tripping?
No, that was Justin Bieber.
No.
Hey, you.
I don't like your girlfriend. Oh, that was Avril Lavigne. I'm tripping. What's that song by Taylor Swift that sounds? It's like that. It's all like poppy and shit.
I thought you were talking about the one that was like, if I was your boyfriend, I'd never let you go.
Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift.
That's my boo.
Huh.
Taylor gang.
Taylor.
Taylor gang. Shit.
That was my high school.
Oh God.
That's where the name comes from. This high school.
I said, dang, Taylor Swift, 56 million subscribers. She got a song, this Taylor Swift, You Belong With Me. That shit is at 1.5 billion.
Shake It Off. That's the song I was thinking of.
That's Taylor Swift.
Look what you made me do.
Dang.
Yep.
I knew you were
9
trouble.
billion. It's somebody just
I knew
playing these
you
songs
were
on.
trouble when you walked in.
The shame on me now.
Yeah, Taylor Swift is out there, up there.
I got a blank space, baby, and I'll write your name.
I knew you were trouble when you walked in.
Oh, okay, yeah, I
Now
remember
I'm
that
lying
song.
on the cold
On the
hard
radio.
ground. Oh, trouble.
You do that too good, Cryo.
I'm good at falsetto because I used to play with it like a toy when I was a kid.
What's up,
Man, blowing over
Ego?
here.
Ego in the building. What you do? You took some shrooms or something?
No, I wish. I got this baby on me right now, so that's the only drug I need.
Oh, you got
a little boy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I did take those shrooms about 2 weeks ago from my friend. It was nice. We made some tea out of it. Made like a lot of tea out of that shit.
Was they strong?
Nice. Yeah, it was strong. I just I ended up sharing half of it with him, so like it wasn't as like intense as it should have been. But we started to do like this Wim Hof, and that shit was nice. It's a lot for me to like explain, so I don't want to like go into it. But like I know there was one part where I was holding my breath in the Wim Hof, and it was like everything was just became light or something. I don't fucking it's like the weight that was on my body started to evaporate, and it felt like the things that were around me started to feel less real, almost as if they were like slowly falling apart, but not quite there yet. And I understood like, oh, so holding the breath during the Wim Hof, it's the same thing as living life. You're holding on to all of this bullshit, all that stress, and all trying to hold on to all of this life. I get,
Yeah.
And when you exhale, it's like a letting go of all that shit. It's like a relief. It's like you're letting the soul pass through the body, and it was nice. But yeah.
That's deep,
mild
bro.
experience, nothing too crazy.
That's crazy enough right there.
Yeah.
That's crazy enough because
Metaphors are real. Life is happening.
Yeah, I be feeling like that. Like we do walk around with the world on our shoulders, and no matter what happens, the thing is, they say, you gotta keep living. It don't matter what happened. You can lose the closest thing to you. You still gotta keep living. And the ones that gave up, well, yeah.
I was talking to Blaxican about that last night, actually, and about like building a tribe and whatnot. Like finding your making life would be more meaningful and like more beneficial for the individual if we all just like separately disbanded from each other and found our own tribe. Like
I think don't you think that's what we do?
About what relates.
That's what we do in the first place.
Right.
Kind of sort of.
Right.
That's basically what we do.
Yeah, and these like panels kind of show it off even more. I think the YouTube panels have kind of really exacerbated that idea, because you could find like I get on panels a lot. This is a new one for me as far as Booker and your channel, but everyone here seems to be cordial. And not just that, you guys have said different ideas that were conflicting, but then still it was just like a cohesive conversation. So I think that you guys have figured out a good little tribe here. But yeah, I do agree with what you're saying, that there are already little factions happening online. Jump in certain chat groups, and if you say the word planet, you're getting kicked out or made fun of.
Yeah.
Or if you go and say the word, whatever, and then all of a sudden you're no longer allowed to be in that conversation. So it seems to be happening, at least from my looking around.
It's almost like that shit started all the way from when you first started going to school, and you start to be around certain people. You didn't see the whole school leave together and everybody walk home together. You see certain groups. Like these people over here got their little group. The people, you got your little friends group.
Right. It's kind of like the idea of you look at the Lion Kingdom, or you look at the big cats.
Yeah.
And you see the big cats. They're like, you have like the tigers. They only fuck with the tigers. And lions only fuck with the lions.
Yeah, and
then so it's kind of like a natural thing.
Yeah, within the lions, they got their own group. And if you come into their territory from another group, you're gonna get slaughtered.
Right. It's all about protecting the structure that's already there. If you're not building upon it, and if you're not building upon it and you're going against it, you're automatically evil. Or set to the side, like, oh yeah, you gotta get this clown out of here.
Yeah, it needs to be destroyed. Yeah, because it threatens the reality that they've built.
Yeah.
That's why here we have no structure. It just comes off as a structure, having so much non-structure.
Yeah.
Right, Drew?
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, like whatever happened, we'll just go with the moment.
Yeah, 'cause I think each way is, dang, it's crazy because there's so many different ways. Like when you look at the penguins, the penguins don't just hang in small groups. They all be together when they breed and everything.
In the moment.
Somebody was cyborg.
Just Ty, you was going in and out, Just Ty.
He does that from time to time. He's half cyborg.
For the thing Ty is for real.
Just AI. That's what we gonna start calling you. Just AI.
Just AI.
That's what you like. Yeah. They all. I wasn't saying anything.
But it's weird
That's the
because
type
within
of my
the,
YouTube.
like, just within the animals, you can see the different structures of how, you know, like each one, like you see the panthers, they do, you know, they be off by themselves.
Yeah.
The lions be in a big group. I think the tigers don't even be in groups like that unless they, you know, the mother got the cubs and they grown up. But then I think they split up if I ain't mistaken.
Right.
Right, and then so that's
The
just
long-
like testament to the idea of like even within a species, you still have these sub little groups that all differentiate from each other. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, which is weird. But we say
That's that mammalian.
nature. That's that. We say it's
That
that's
reptilian
nature.
brain.
That's nature. But I gotta go, y'all. I gotta go up to the job. I'll be back later though. I'm about to go to the job. Then I'm about to take the kids to the beach and ride around.
Thanks for hosting this show.
Hey, so all right, I'm gonna holler Discord.
All right, bro.
Peace.
All right, see you
Bye.
later.
Enjoy.
All right, and yeah, thanks for tuning in, y'all. Yeah, I'm gonna come back later.